Good stuff.
Well, let's talk about you guys.
Yeah.
So
Tell us about your characters.
Yeah. Tasha, Oren, Ethan, Jess, we are all childhood friends. Tasha is also Jess's roommate. And so she runs a really big social media platform where she teaches her audience on internet privacy and like how to keep the government out of your business because she thinks someone is always listening, you know. So with the treasure hunt, she brings that tech aspect there. She's super good at like hacking and cracking codes, and that's vital in any good treasure hunt, right? So
absolutely.
yeah.
And Oren Bradley is who I play, and he's one of the 4 best friends, obviously, and he's got levels, you know. He runs a sneaker resale platform, so he's a sneakerhead, so that was really fun to dive into. And also he has a vast knowledge, almost concerning knowledge of conspiracy theories. So he's kind of got this like, you know, he's a very interesting, fun character. They kind of bring a lot of like fun comedic moments to it.
Yeah.
Our relationship is very fun in the show, and yeah, they're just super fun people.
They're great.
Yeah.
Are there any characters that inspired your characters in this film, like when you took on the role?
That's actually a great
That
question.
is a great question.
As I was kind of looking at sort of the parallels between the films and the show, I realized like every character, there's Ben Gates, there's Riley, there's everybody has sort of like a parallel character in the show, and like we sort of combined,
like,
split like Riley Poole-esque character, which is really fun to bring to the show. And when he came onto the show and like how we like knew who he was, and it's like, oh my god, I read your books and all that stuff, like that was really exciting to work with him.
Like the randomness of Oren's thoughts, you know, and then Tasha's like tech brain, you know, they combine to be like
a pretty cool pair.
They are. They are. Yeah.
Come on.
What is the show truly about for you? What are the themes that are explored? And how timely is that show, knowing that it's really much more inclusive and diversified than the original films?
Well, that might be my favorite part about the show, is that we look like real life. When you are walking down the street, you see people that look like all of us. So for that to be showcased on the screen, I think is just so important. And shout out to the Wib, to the writers, for thinking about those characters and knowing that is important, especially, you know, today. So diversity is
absolutely. And I've been saying, you know, art emulates life, and like that's exactly what we're doing with this show. Is we're showing you what America really looks like, you know?
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. It's an honor to be a part of.
Because National Treasure deals a lot with like history and obviously like puzzles and stuff like that. Do you guys, were you history buffs? Do you have a favorite part of history? Did any of that get to tie into the show?
I wasn't a big school guy, but I loved history class. I really did. It was like one of my favorite things about school. I took a really fun 60s class. Shout out to Mr. Hemler, if you're ever watching. It was, I wasn't very much into school, but history has always been very exciting. And like diving into real historical events in the movies, obviously, and then in the TV show. It's very exciting. Like you learn so much about these things that you may not have learned about.
And I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. So I literally grew up. Are you too? What?
Come on.
Come on,
hey.
Come on. So I grew up going to go see the Liberty Bell for my like school field trips and everything. So for National Treasure, the films to be like partly shot there, and to see Ben Gates like running through my city where I just got ice cream last night with my mom, like, you know, it's crazy. So full circle moment here, truly.
Do you guys relate at all in real life to your characters? Like, do you have a favorite conspiracy theory? Are you super into technology or certain things about social media?
I don't think it's not necessarily like, because the sneakerhead thing, I keep saying I usually buy like $40 sneakers and I'm good for a year, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You'll have to force me to buy another pair of shoes. So I had to really get into that.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories, I'm not really into that, but I think just what I got to bring a lot of myself to the character, which was really like when I got the audition, I was like, oh, this is like my dream role. This is
Yeah.
exactly what I want to play. You know, it was so easy to make that character come to life, and that was very exciting.
I had never had an audition that was more like me, you know, like kind of ever. Tasha is very caring, very, very strong, and she commands a room. Her comedic timing is like my comedic timing. So, you know, it was just a perfect match, her and I. You know, I just love her so much. She's great. And yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to explore with future seasons of your character? Should they be approved?
That's a very good
It is a
question.
very good question.
I think I'm biased. Living in New York, I would love for Oren to go to New York and like start a sneaker business and start doing that.
Yeah.
There were talks. They were like, oh, you're all going to end up in certain spots. And you're going to be in New York and all this stuff. And it was, I was like, that'll be really interesting. Like how he takes this entrepreneurial lifestyle and like makes a business out of it, which is really cool.
I'd love to see what exactly Tasha could do, like in a really big way. Whether that's working for the president or like, you know, the CIA, something really cool like that. Because I think that she's able to like run the whole thing by herself. Truly.
Hell
So,
yeah.
you know, come on.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.